All right, hello and welcome back to Mapping Top Gear. We are on Season 1, Episode 3, and we've got a couple of things that we'll add to our maps in this episode. We will, for the most part, stay in the United Kingdom, but yeah, let us begin.
My question is, what on earth is an Aquadrome? I guess we've all driven up the M1, we've all seen that brown sign that says Billing Aquadrome at turn-off 16? Is it 16? Yeah, 16. To Billing Aquadrome. What is that? So I thought we could kill two birds with one stone. Take the new Mini up there, find out what it's like, and find out what an Aquadrome is.
Perfect. All right, this is one of a rare example so far where Clarkson tells us exactly where we're going to be. So we're at the Billing Aquadrome, as he calls it. Me being an American, I would probably call it an Aquadrome, which I believe is just a fancy name for a water park or like a, lake type area that's got like kind of fun, not necessarily water park type stuff, but just kind of like, think summer lake kind of attraction types, like stuff to do on the lake. I think that's kind of what you would classify an Aquadrome as. Yeah, we are going to stay in the... I should probably mention this. So, in the last episode, there was... Which one was it? In the last episode, Hammond drives a Ford RS 1800. After using AI, it is like 90-95% sure that was filmed a long time ago at this Bruntingthorpe Proving Ground. Now, a lot has changed. I was not able to find a specific shot from the original episode and find something here on Street View on Google Maps that I could actually match up from, like picture to picture. So I don't have proof as of right now that he drove that Ford in episode 2 here, but that's what we have as of right now. But for right now, we're gonna come over here to the Billing Aquadrome Holiday Park. Sorry, Billing Aquadrome Holiday Park.
A bit like Billing Aquadrome then. Turns out it's a caravan site. Fun for all the family. Star turns every night.
Oh, I do want to mention this. I noticed this earlier.
Nonsense fun. A bit like Billing Aquadrome then. Turns out it's a caravan site. Fun for all.
Okay, so if we want to confirm it, I mean, he's already telling us that is where we're at, is the Billing Aquadrome. But what we can do is we can zoom in. We already see like little kind of carnival type rides and stands. So, I mean, again, if we absolutely needed to confirm this, we can look, here is Hook a Duck, which is the little game where there's like little ducks rotating in the middle and you're trying to hook a duck with a little plastic fishing pole. At least I assume that's what it is. So you've got that game. Look, it's in kind of a fake canvas tent here, red and yellow. And look, we've got a red and yellow tent. So I think it's pretty safe to assume that this is actually where we are.
This is hopeless. That's much more like it. It's the Toyota Yaris Verso. Same sort of money as the Mini one, little bit smaller on the outside, but look at what you get on the inside.
Okay, so he introduces a second car. He introduces a Toyota Yaris Verso. And he's going to road test both of them as well. So we will add both of them to the map. So we have the Billing Aquadrome Holiday Park, and this is where the Mini 1 and Toyota Yaris Verso were filmed at. So if we zoom out, the closest thing we have to this is that Bruntingthorpe Proving Ground. And then we kind of go back, so now we'll see. So these are all the places he's been so far. So let us continue. So that gets us through the Mini and the Toyota section at the Billing Aquadrome Holiday Park. We're going to move on. Okay, so Hammond is now driving an old Citroen DS. I don't know hardly anything about this car. The car itself is somewhat pretty. Now, what we're doing, though, we got to find out where he's driving this. And the problem with doing this is there's lots of segments where they are like testing or driving a car around a city. And like I know for a fact it happens in episode 4 because I was just trying to figure out a specific place where Hammond also is testing another car in another country, actually. But it is very difficult to pinpoint like exactly where he's going. So on a segment such as this, I am going to just find one screenshot. I'll pause the video at a certain point and find one screenshot that we can match up with real life. And if the whole point of the test, the specific test, is just him or whichever presenter driving it through the city, I'm just going to say in that city, and then I'll put the pinpoint at the actual spot that we find the screenshot at. So that's how I'm going to plan on doing it for now, just because like it would take ages to actually find, okay, like he's driving on this specific street, and then in the next shot he's driving on this street. I mean, like take this shot right here. Okay, this shot, like how, like it would take ages for you to find like the exact the exact route that he drove just from testing this. So I just saw the screenshot I want to pause at, I believe. Yes, this screenshot right here. I believe this is what I want to pause at. So yeah. So I say all that to say, if it's just a test driving through a city, I just want to find the city. I want to find one specific pinpoint where I can put it and say, okay, bam, he was right here. The car was right there. He was driving the car at this spot, and then just kind of call it, because otherwise I would be here for hours and hours and hours trying to map out. And by the way, on top of that, it's not unusual for them to have tested the car, drove around and record everything, but then the recording is not actually in exact like sequence with what is presented on the actual final edit. So meaning it's possible that some of the stuff like at the very end of the test, like maybe he was finishing filming for the day in the car and he is saying certain things about the car. It's possible that some of that stuff happened at the beginning of the episode, or at the beginning of this part of the episode, when in reality it was one of the last things that he recorded. So yeah, I don't think that if they're just testing it in a city, just kind of driving around, I don't think that it's going to be possible to actually route that out. Now, later on when they actually go on road trips, we will be able to find specific spots where they stop, like for instance gas stations, restaurants, scenic overlooks, whatever. We'll be able to find those, and then we will actually be able to map out where they went. So that is, and I know that's probably what most of you are more excited about. That's what I'm more excited about. But for now, and again, in an example like this, we're just going to find one spot. Now, I believe this is the shot that I want to hone in on. And if you can see, there is writing here. So there's this place called The Coach. So The Coach, and kind of did some digging. And if I just search The Coach, and again, if I'm just kind of watching this looks pretty British. It doesn't look like, I mean, maybe it's a different city besides London, but I mean, it's safe to assume that he's driving. And look, he's even driving on the left side of the road. So we know it's probably going to be the United Kingdom. Now, what I want to do, though, is, which, by the way, as far as trying to figure out where this was filmed, we can kind of basically limit our search to here, right? Okay, so I'm going to guess this is London. Now, I see some stuff in here, The Coach and Horses. The Coach and HO. Now, that might coincide with what we were just seeing a second ago. Let's go back.
The headlamps swiveled with the steering wheel.
Okay. The Coach and, what does that look like? HO. The Coach and HO. So this kind of gets me thinking, whoops. This kind of gets me thinking that we are close with the Coach and Horses. So let's see where this leads us to. Okay. So we have the Coach and Horses, which is actually a pub on, at least close to a corner, and we're looking for this specific view. We're looking for something that looks like this. Is this like a parking garage? Do we see a parking garage? That doesn't look like a parking garage. Where is this view? 1, 2, 3. So that's 4 stories. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 stories. That matches up. Let's actually go into... all right, so actually, no. We have a corner here that kind of goes to the right and then curves back around. Oh, wait a second. What do we have here? There's a corner that kind of goes to the right and comes back around. Let's try the... Oh, wait, that's not... That doesn't look right, actually. I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it, but I do think that we could probably search the Coach and Horses, right? All right, so this is Clerkenwell. So, again, I have in my notes, there is the Coach. Oh, wow. Okay, well, I'm going to cheat slightly here. Oh, wow. Okay, this closed since last time I searched this. Did this just close? Or maybe it was closed and I just couldn't find it this time, but I found it last time. Okay, well, this is the spot, and I can prove this. Wow. So this is kind of a weird intersection here, but this is it. So let's click and drag in our little guy here. So the shot... Okay, here's the money shot right here. Is that bad to call it a money shot? All right, so here's the proof. All right, so we've got, look, you got the building with the white lines here, brick building. You've got a black kind of banner here where it says the Coach in HO. Does it say here? Well, it just says the Coach, but this still matches up. I mean, they've done a little bit of renovating. Interesting. There used to be 2 yellow lines. Now there's 2 yellow lines there. There's only 1 there, though. But the more evident piece is this building in the background. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stories. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stories. And they have these kind of strange-looking supports. These like kind of outside supports. These kind of structural supports. So I believe this confirms it. Is there anything else we can look at? Like the fence, it actually has, this is a barbed wire fence. Yeah, it's got a barbed wire fence right here. We got the same over here. So I think this confirms it for what we're looking at. Look, there's a little bridge down there. Yeah, so this is the spot. So I'm going to... This is interesting because if this place closed... This must have just closed because I'm pretty sure when I looked at this last, it was still open because I was able to find it a lot easier. Regardless, though, we're at 24 Ray Street in London, England. So let me kind of just grab this. And this should point us right at that spot. Yeah. The pub previously was right there, and then here's that kind of interesting white building with the support. So I'm going to place our little pinpoint right here. The Coach, Clerkenwell. I'm going to keep it at that. So that's our first pinpoint in the city of London, really.
I'm not convinced.
Okay, so he pretty much just drives around London. So we're just going to keep it that pinpoint. And we're good on that. And we're going to move on to the next segment that we'll need to put into our maps.
Is the best looking car. But it isn't. Because this is. Aston Martin launched the DB7. See what I mean about the noise? But where's the get up and go? Even with a 6-litre V12, it's no more powerful than a parish council.
So this is tricky. I'm kind of, while I'm doing this, I'm trying to ask AI, trying to figure out from AI if this picture helps at all. So I've already watched the full segment of this Aston Martin DB7, and he never really tells where he is. He doesn't say beforehand. He's just kind of driving around and road testing it. AI looked at this and said that OY does kind of help, and says that OY apparently is synonymous with Oxfordshire. So it's not far-fetched to think that maybe we're somewhere near Oxfordshire. I was hoping AI might see this cottage and be able to recognize it, but it did not.
It's the looks.
It is worth mentioning this. So, like in this segment, some extras are driving the Aston around London somewhere in some really nice area. It's not Clarkson driving though. So, like if we go back and look, so Clarkson goes to this little cottage, and then they have kind of a little skit where this couple is going on a date in their Aston. So it's not Clarkson. So I don't want to put this area. This area would be very easy to find. It's got to be somewhere in some nice area of London. But I don't want to put this in because it's not actually Clarkson driving. I feel like that would not be... I feel like that would be cheating. AI is telling me this... Like I put in a couple of screenshots. It's telling me somewhere in between Lou and Aston, west of Oxford. This is where it's going to be like, if we don't get any like specific points, it's going to be very difficult to find. Yeah, it gave me this coordinate. It gave me these coordinates, which there's nothing. There's not a road here. So this shot, this is one I gave to AI as well, where it's got a little sign here. Yeah, and AI again is still saying it's somewhere in this area. So, okay, so here's Aston. So here's Lou. So it thinks that he's driving some... Oh, and here's Aston Road. And it does say it thinks it's on Aston Road. Near Aston Road, between Lou and Aston, Oxfordshire. Well, I've been looking for about 15 minutes now. I'm not having too much luck. I might have to leave this one up to the masses. If anybody knows where this cottage is, leave me a comment, I guess. I don't know. I'm not able to find it. I think for now, I am going to go ahead and place this in the map, though. And again, it says to keep it, or it says it thinks it's in between Aston and Lou. I'm going to keep it north of Aston. So this is the little town of Aston. I'm going to keep it north of... Yeah, let's put it right there. Aston Road. Yeah, and we'll keep it there for right now, just because I don't know what else. There's not much else we can do. Not much else that we can go off of. So we'll put it right there. And we are. I think as we go on, I think there's going to be so many dots in just so many different rural areas, because there are a lot of segments that they use, or a lot of segments where they film just like on a random rural road. So it's going to happen a lot. This is the guess as of right now. If somebody has a suggestion of a better place we can put it, let me know. I'm all ears. Okay, so the episode continues on. Hammond has some grannies doing donuts in a Honda S2000, and so it's technically featured, I guess. Does Hammond actually drive this? Hammond might not drive it, but it is still a feature car because it is a car that has a mounted camera. It's a car that has a mounted camera and is moving, and so that meets two of the rules. It has to meet two of the three rules. So then after the Grannies drive, the last segment of the episode is Hammond test driving. Actually, he power tests this because the Grannies were at the Top Gear test track. Nothing new to add there. We already have the Top Gear test track. And then Hammond finally finishes up the episode doing a power test, and we're back on the Top Gear test track. And this is pretty easy to say. Usually whenever they have the big lines in the middle, we can be for sure that it's the Top Gear test track. That's one of the final corners. Let's see if we can find some better evidence. Yeah, I mean, you can just tell. Yeah, the Top Gear test track has those hangers, the pointed hangers, and we can see that evidently. Or we have the evidence here that we can see. Let's go back to the Top Gear test track. Top Gear test track is just going to be one of the staple marks of it. And so, yeah, so you have the three big hangers that have the pointed tops, 1, 2, 3. So yeah, this is the Top Gear test track. And that will do it for this episode, because after this, he thrashes it around the Top Gear test track. And it gets a power lap. And that's it. So that is Season 1, Episode 3. We had the Billing Aquadrome Holiday Park. We were in London in a Citroen DS with Hammond. And then Clarkson was driving somewhere in Oxfordshire in an Aston Martin DB7. So we'll come back to our map just so that we can see. We didn't add any more routes today to the map, but we did get a couple more dots here. So we're slowly but surely building on this. And we're, for the most part, we're staying in the United Kingdom now. I will say, the next episode, I don't think we leave the United Kingdom yet in the next episode, but in episode 5, we definitely do. We got another country. So stay tuned for that. Take care. Good night.